let's get stuck in for a moment at least to England and see what the guys thought of the latest international break, where England made sure of qualification for next summer's World Cup. And it's going seamlessly at the moment for Thomas Tuchel in terms of qualification, Merce. I mean, the results speak for themselves. 6 wins in a row, not a single goal conceded, 17 goals scored as well. We're going to win the World Cup, aren't we? But then again, when you look at the opposition, maybe we need to be a little bit more reserved. What's your take on the qualification campaign so far?
Qualification is completely different to the World Cup. It's like playing paddle and tennis. Do you know what I mean? You play the qualifiers and then all of a sudden that's paddle and then you've got to go and play tennis. And it's the World Cup and that's the difference. You've got to qualify and they always qualify well. My biggest worry is going to be when it's going to be boiling hot over there. We've got to keep the ball. I like the manager because he'll make big decisions. He will make big decisions, but you look at that, the only game they played there was Senegal and they got beat 3-1.
Yeah. And that's the worry, isn't it? Dorst didn't like that analogy. He was shaking his head, now giving you the
I thought it was a good one.
I thought it was really good, very effective.
Thank you.
But that's the problem for England. Yes, comfortably qualifying. Yeah. We expected that as well. Defensively looked really good, and we'll talk about personnel. But you're looking at the latter stages of the World Cup, if they get there, before they're going to meet anyone of note between now and the World Cup. And that's a problem for Tuchel, isn't it?
100%, absolutely. You know, they just don't get to play these big friendlies against the big teams. Obviously not being in the National League anymore, you know, where the top tier, you play some good competition. So for me, it's going to be a problem, you know, until they get to the quarter-final, last 16. Because with the amount of teams in it now, you're back to the old days when I was growing up watching the World Cup, where you'd watch the group games and someone would get beat 5 and 6-0. We're going to be seeing that in this World Cup, in my opinion. There's going to be too many weaker teams in there, and then it's when it livens up. And
you meant the Nations League.
Yeah, the Nations League. What did I say?
You said national. I'm just correcting.
Oh, thank you.
I'm your mate. You know what people are like.
We're tennis fans.
I mean, those games were harder watching black and white as well, man.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. But But we always qualify. Yeah. You know, we take it for granted. When I was before that, we didn't qualify for World Cups, some World Cups. Now we qualify easily. But I think the manager's got some massive, massive decisions. I know they're not yet, because it's a long way to go. There's going to be injuries. God forbid no one does get injured. But he's got big decisions to make. Big decisions. Like Jack Grealish, for me, if Jack Grealish keeps on playing, I take Jack Grealish, because Jack Grealish keeps the ball. People go, we don't get the ball and beat 6 players anymore and to score a goal. What he does, he keeps the ball. And when we go to the World Cup, we will have to keep the ball. It's going to be boiling hot over there, and we have to keep the ball. And for me, he ticks that box. And for me, he's the one that's going to be a big decision. You know, Bellingham, there's a lot of decisions to be made.
And just the last point on the games, Clinton, before we get stuck into what Mercer's brought up, the personnel, who goes, who perhaps doesn't, surprising names that may
That's
not go.
That's why I'm here for that, you know.
Yeah, I know you're waiting for that. But just on the qualification, listen, against some of these lesser teams, and a lot of them were lesser teams, we often struggle to break them down. But you look at their last 3, 5-0 against Serbia away, that friendly against Wales 3-0, and then Latvia 5-0 midweek. I mean, there's something good happening with this Tuchel side, albeit against lesser opposition they'll face in the latter stages of the World Cup. Are you encouraged, even though they're not your national team, by what you've seen?
Yeah, you should be.
They are really.
You should be. you should be encouraged. Let me speak, mate. No, you should be. Yeah, you should be encouraged. I think England have been outstanding. Listen, you expect them to beat the teams that are put in front of them with the quality of players they've got in the starting 11, and even the ones that are on the bench, and even the ones that have not made the squad. England should qualify, but it's not always easy like that. They've managed to do it. You see the way they celebrated the other night. He was happy, they did celebrate, and now they move on to November. And then they got games in March as well, and then it comes to the World Cup, and he has big decisions to make. But listen, the football under him, you can see he's an intense manager. What he wants when you see his teams, he wants them to move the ball. And when you've lost the ball, quickly you got to recover and get the ball back. He don't care about making decisions as well, but the big decisions, Thomas Tuchel, that's what he's brought into it. To England to do is to win the World Cup and get them to the World Cup and try to win it. Well, he's done that. He's got them to the World Cup, which he should have done anyway with the group they were in. And now he's got to make these big decisions. And he will have big decisions to make, as Mer said. And I totally get, I know we're going to get onto the player thing. Jack Grealish should be in that squad. Mer's hit the nail on the head. When you've got a player like him in that heat who can take you up the pitch, win you free kicks, and that's what you're going to need in there, because there'll be times where they're under pressure, England, and Jack Grealish is the best at it. For the life of me, I do not know why he wasn't in that last squad. But listen, That's why I'm sat here, and Thomas Tuchel's the England manager.
And so he's absolutely right, Clinton. He's not afraid to make the big decisions. I mean, I can't see Gareth Southgate coming out after the Wales match and being critical of the crowd, but Tuchel was comfortable doing that, whether you think he was right or wrong to say those words. He's been brought in as a German to specifically win the World Cup for England, to go beyond what we saw at Southgate, which was hugely impressive, but at the final hurdle, they couldn't quite do it. He won't be afraid, will he not, to leave out big-name players. Could you see them travelling to the World Cup next summer without the likes of a Grealish, without Bellingham? There's clearly a problem there. Potentially without a Foden. I mean, Cole Palmer not involved because he's injured at the moment. You look at some of the big names who are not involved with England at the moment. He wouldn't be afraid to leave those behind, however unpopular it might prove to be. What's your take on how he'll go about this?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's all about the team rather than individuals. So he'll look at individuals like...
Well, that's what he said. He said, I'm not looking at individuals, I'm looking at the team this week.
Yeah, and that's his remit is to qualify for the World Cup, to then win the World Cup. And that's exactly what he was brought in to do. So I think sort of looking at what he's done, you know, reading between the lines, you would say probably 8 of the positions would be nailed on at the moment. I think the positions that are still question marks is left back. I think the left side forward, and I think the number 10 or number 8 role, however he wants to play it in that midfield area. I think he really likes Rice and Anderson. I think he likes those two together. So I think as long as everybody's fit and available, he'll go with that. But then it's in that attacking midfield role, if you like. So how many players does he have in there? And he's got so many quality players. But I don't think he'll be afraid to leave them out. I don't think he'll listen to what other people say. He just wants to win the World Cup. That's what he's brought in to do. And I think at times Gareth Southgate maybe got a little bit of criticism when he was trying to fit everybody in. You know, so he was trying to fit Foden in, he's trying to fit Bellingham in, Cole Palmer. Like, how are you going to fit all of those quality players into that side?
And he's not going to listen to the pressure
cares.
from the media, is he, and the fans?
I don't think he cares, no.
Could you, Tim, see him leaving someone like a Jude Bellingham at home next summer?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's got no fear, this man. I think he knows exactly what he's there to do. He signed a short contract to win the World Cup. If you don't win the World Cup, he's failed. He knows that. You're not stupid. I mean, he's using these games to... I think he knows he's got the players like the Bellinghams, the Fodens, the Grealishes, the Palmers, Eze, Gibbs White, you know, all fit into one position. They can't all play. So he's going to have tough decisions to make. We're blessed in that position in the field. And at the moment, Rodgers is holding the shirt and he's doing very well. Yeah. But he will know it's against lesser opposition. He will 100% know that it's going to get tougher. He will know it's in the conditions what we're talking about, hot conditions, in a way, in America. He will factor all that in. So when he's leaving these boys out now, he's having a look at the rest of them and he's making a clear message. When he's talking to the press, he's always talking about the team. But not only him now, it's catching. When your players are getting interviewed in front of the camera, they're all talking about the team. It's not about any individual. So I 100% can see him making big decisions and leaving them out. Now, the fans out there will say, well, it's stupid. We've got world-class players who are going to be left behind. Yes, we have, but PSG, let me remind you, they had Messi, Neymar and Mbappe. They won nothing in Champions League. Couldn't even get near it. I covered loads of their games and I was saying, this is not a team. They've got world-class, best players, best of the 3 players in the world, possibly. But they won't win anything like this. Luis Enrique takes over. Dembele, who played bit part in amongst them 3, is their main man, Ballon d'Or winner now. But the group work together as a team, and they're winning. They won the Champions League. They're favourites to win it again this year. So it's not about individuals, unfortunately. We've been in that generation. We've had a golden generation. And we tried to fit them all into the team. It does not work. He know that, Thomas Tuchel. He's no fool. For me, he's a very good choice for us to give us the best chance. I think it's going to be difficult in that environment anyway, even if, you know, he manages to pick the correct side. But he's going to give us the best chance. I really like him.
Merce, you've already mentioned Jack Grealish. In terms of the talented players who are not involved at the moment, whether it's a form thing, maybe a personal issue like we're seeing with Bellingham as well, or injured, who else for you simply has to go? And if they go, how does he go about integrating them to a side that at the moment is gathering momentum?
You know what? The thing he's got against him, and this is the major problem, they've played nobody. Absolutely nobody. And all these players that have played well are playing against nobody. Then all of a sudden you come up against an Argentina or a Spain and you're chasing the ball around for 75 minutes, and when you get it, you've got to make something happen. This is his problem, and this is what I think the manager's got to look at. I mean, Cole Palmer goes, for me, definitely goes. Someone gets injured before it's horrible. I mean, Elliot's done brilliant. Elliot Anderson's done brilliant. Got the ball, he's played it simple. He ain't played against anybody yet. Wait till he plays against Spain and they get the three in midfield and they're all pinging it around and chasing the ball round. Then you don't know where you're going to go. You get tired, you start switching off. You switch off against, who are we playing? Wales and who? The other day?
Latvia.
I mean, if you went on Family Fortunes and he was in the final, he said, name me a Latvia player, you're going to go, Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, but do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, though, do you?
Oh, absolutely.
So for me, it's so hard that he's judging against lesser teams, and this is the problem. When we go and play against the big boys, it's so much different. There's shells in players. You know, when you look at your Maradonas, your Messis, your Ronaldos, and your Zidanes, your Henrys, your Bergkamps, and you go down and down and down. It's the same as international football. You got them up here, and then it goes down and down. And we're playing these teams down here at the moment, and then we've got to jump up and play these teams without playing anybody even in the middle. So it's a hard one. It's a hard one. He really can't get the gauge at the moment. And I'm not having to go at Anderson, because I like Anderson.
I agree with you. I agree. There's one player that should be in there, though. Adam Wharton should be in there. But I don't, for the life of me, I don't.
Yeah, but
again, what, Mercy? Give him an opportunity.
I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan of him. He is the
but
future.
There's a lot who have a very good.
Yeah, but but there's no future.
Why is there not a future?
This is why Tuchel's taken over.
No, but I'm not talking
now.
No,
it's
I'm not,
now.
No, but
we're not building a team for the next tournament.
I'm not talking about the future. He's ready now. Give him an opportunity. This was the perfect camp to get him into it.
Yeah, but what's he going to learn? Really, Clint, he's going to learn. He will keep the ball as well as that Anderson.
That's what I mean.
He would have dictated.
Yeah, but do you not think he should be in it then, Tim?
I think he should. I think he'll be in the next one. I really think in November. I think we're going to see some changes.
Yeah.
For me, at the moment, when I look at our squad, there's 3 players, maybe 4. There's a goalkeeper.
Pickford.
Pickford. I think
Harry Kane.
Declan Rice and Harry Kane, and maybe Saka on the right.
I don't think he makes a lot of changes. I don't think he'll want to complicate it for himself, Tim.
All he's got to do, Merce, is pick his best side. He can't worry about the opposition we're going to play. Yeah. What does he think the best team to gel together is to give us the best chance to win? And at the moment, I think them 3/4 players are guaranteed to start.
I think he's
if we lose Harry Kane,
when he makes them big decisions, he better make sure he wins the World Cup.
He told you already. He told you last week without telling you that big players will not be going to this World Cup. He's told you, I want a team.
But someone who absolutely has to, Sue, is a man later into Classica who could ratchet up 400 career club goals. Harry Kane for Bayern Munich a little later this evening. That game, by the way, live on Sky Sports. When you're looking at players he simply cannot afford to lose, he's one of them. If Harry Kane wasn't fit for the World Cup, the cupboard's a little bare, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's the real worry because, we know Harry Kane, he's probably in the form of his life. How many times have we said that throughout his career? He's in the form of his life again. He's so key and pivotal to England and the way that they play. And I don't think anybody comes close to him, unfortunately. You think there's Ollie Watkins. I think before that there was Solanke, Dominic Calvert-Lewin before that. But it's always been it's always been Harry Kane, hasn't it?
That's where we are.
Yeah, it is, and that's the worry. We've got so many number 10s or attacking midfielders, but as a number 9,
the lap's are one for the future, but not for this World Cup.
So you just hope and pray that he stays fit.
I basically should have gone bigger than a cupboard, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Harry Kane is the truth. Yeah. Like, he is the truth. Harry Kane's the best. That is without a shadow of doubt. If England lose Harry Kane, they don't win nothing at all.
Best striker in the world right now for you?
Oh, that's a big debate.
I mean, Haaland's
but listen,
fine form as well.
Haaland's been in fantastic form, but at the moment, I like Harry Kane. That's my opinion. I like him. I think he's fantastic, can do everything. Unbelievable.